Just Ceri at the top of the pod here to say that there was some technical difficulties this week with the sound and cutting out over Zoom, so please bear with us. There's a really annoying fan sound and a bit of a scratching sound, but we've tried our best to get rid of it, and hopefully it doesn't impair on your listening too much. Still, very funny episode, I think. I wouldn't say funny. It's a decent episode, decent movie. We both enjoyed watching it, so enjoy the show.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, my name is Adam Sandler, and welcome to So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast. A gabagoo.
Welcome back to So Sandlerous, the Sandman movie podcast, a podcast where we discuss the movies of famed identity thief Adam Sandler. My name is Kerry Jones, and as always, I am joined by my dearest friend and co-host, Matt Wolstenholme.
Welcome back, everybody. How are we going this week? We're going all right.
I think this week's a lot more bearable than what it's been in the past. At least we've got some outline of a plot here with the movie we're about to discuss.
If anyone's still listening with us, we actually kind of enjoyed this movie.
I
didn't mind this.
This movie was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And I'd probably suggest this movie for people to watch.
Yeah,
if you were high or drunk.
Oh, if you were high, you'd be all over this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I would actually suggest this movie to watch. But yeah, again, thanks everybody in the last week who's been listening. Our numbers are doing quite well considering that we've put minimal effort into this, minimal effort into getting the name out there. But yeah, 117 individual downloads as of the 10th of March.
Let's fucking go. That's sick. Thank you everybody that's downloaded and everybody that's listening. It really means a lot.
Yeah, that's
fucking sick.
That's mad. Right, Matt, should we get into it? This is probably the quickest we've ever got into a movie. 2 minutes now.
We've hit our curve, mate. We're 4 episodes in. We've got the stride going.
Yeah, so this week movie
I'm not sat in a car.
Yeah. That's nice that you're actually in the room. This week's movie is 1993 Coneheads.
They have come from the cold, far reaches of space.
Roger, TACOM.
Unidentified aircraft.
To conquer our world.
Request permission to fire.
And to enslave our people forevermore.
He's disappeared.
That is, until the Balthark hit the spinning Krynor.
Greetings. Azika Techno-Industrial Complex, where I might obtain 2 or 3 semnuts of platinum paste.
This time of night, huh?
This is the story of 2 aliens, Beldar and Primat.
Square good. I have re-radiated leftover starch disc.
Pizza. I will enjoy it.
Do not sear the top of your neck hole.
For them, it was a chance to build a new dream.
Where are you from?
From France. I come from France.
It was a chance to settle into the neighborhood, make a home for themselves.
We will ignite our new flame pit and char some mammal flesh for you.
And start a new family.
I am with both.
You? A young one?
But they never lost their appetite for life.
Wow! My mom's the only other woman I've ever known who could make a sandwich like that.
For their passion for each other.
Let us suppose for some reason my life function ceased. What would you do?
I would incinerate your carcass in the tradition of Obadiah the Obtuse and put it in a clean, dry place.
Paramount Pictures proudly presents a motion picture.
These are great seats.
That's heads above the rest. Dan Ackroyd.
It is as if you have seized me at the base of my snarklies.
Jane Curtin,
Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Coneheads,
Are they from another planet?
If they're not, we should nuke France right away.
Coneheads is a 1993 American science fiction comedy from Paramount Pictures, produced by Lorne Michaels, directed by Stephen Barron and starring Dan Ackroyd, Jane Curtin and Michael Burke. The film is based on the NBC Saturday Night Live comedy sketches about aliens stranded on Earth, who have anglicised their Remulakian surname to Conehead. So,
there's going to be some really weird words and names in this.
Yeah.
That we're going to do our best with.
So, there's a couple of things I want to talk about with the production of this movie. So, Lorne Michaels, he is a producer on SNL, and the year before this, it all kicked off with Wayne's World. So, Paramount Pictures came to Lorne Michaels, and he was like, "Oh, is there any sketches in the SNL backlog that we can use to make a feature-length movie?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll sign a 3-picture deal." So he signed the deal for Wayne's World, Coneheads, and Wayne's World 2.
Oh, nice. I mean, Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2 are both really good movies.
Yeah, and then you've got this right in the middle.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, but like, oh, you know, nice.
Yeah. Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2 were both very successful and basically shot Mike Myers into stardom in the movies, and I'm guessing Dan Ackroyd was hoping this was going to be a bit of resurgence for him after.
Well, yeah, because this
Ghostbusters.
is a few years after Ghostbusters. Is this before or after Ghostbusters 2?
This is after Ghostbusters 2. I think it's like
okay.
4 years after Ghostbusters 2, but like 2 years before he does a cameo in Casper the Friendly Ghost as his character from Ghostbusters. Yeah, so this movie was made just because Wayne's World was so successful, and they wanted to use the SNL characters from the past on the big screen. And the guy who directed this, Steve Barron, he is a music video director.
I was just looking at this. He's done some crazy music videos.
Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Summer of '69 and Run to You by Bryan Adams. What else has he done?
Oh, Electric Avenue by Eddie
Electric
Grant.
Avenue, yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Africa by Toto. And and
Take
Take
on Me.
by, yeah. but then he's also he directed the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in 1990.
That's actually a really good movie. That holds up well.
And then after this, his career kind of died out. But do you remember Treasure Island series on Sky for like 15 years ago? Jesus. And Eddie Izzard was playing Blackbeard.
No.
Oh, well, he directed that series where Eddie Izzard is a pirate.
Eddie Izzard?
Yeah.
That's an name for a while.
No, but yeah. So this guy's directed some stuff as well. But after this, I think it just kind of died out with him. But yeah, this movie's packed cast as well, but we'll
You telling me you've never seen the movie Rat from 2000, directed by this man?
Rat?
You've never seen Choking Man? You've never seen Mike Bassett, England manager from 2001? Iconic movie.
Oh, I have seen Supervised from 2019.
Fuck off.
No, I haven't. Wait,
there was a sequel to Mike Bassett. It's just Manager from 2005. He didn't direct though, just produced it.
Mike Bassett, England manager. What? And the sequel's Mike Bassett
Manager, but it's a TV rather than a movie.
Oh, and there's a sequel to Manager called Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus.
You dickhead. Alright, so far we're getting into the movie. It's now been like 5 minutes and we've been chatting shit.
Hey, we were quick off the bat.
Just riffing.
But Yeah. Should we get into this movie then?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
this guy also directed a David Bowie, 2 David Bowie songs for the music
What were they?
videos. As the World Falls Down and Underground, and he's also got a Fleetwood Mac in there. Hold Me.
Oh,
Man, this guy's the fucking business.
well,
Madonna? Rod
Congrats to you,
Stewart?
Steve Barron. He's
ZZ Top?
God, just list the whole thing.
I've missed out a lot of them. There's a lot.
Oh. No, this is like when I found out the other day. Jeff Tremaine, who directed the Jackass movies,
Yeah.
he's directed the in-flight information thing for American Airlines.
Why? What the fuck? I mean, broaden your horizons, but like that is 2 wildly different things.
Yeah, completely different. And he
Jeff
reckons that
Tremaine.
American Airlines video is the most viewed thing he's ever done. Which
Well, technically, I reckon, yeah, like, fair enough.
But that's just a little fun fact there. Right, moving on to our first segment, Matt. Our first segment is called Curb That Blurb. So what I've done is I have found a plot synopsis online about this movie. If you think the plot synopsis is a good one, we'll let it walk freely. If not, we'll take it outside, make it bite the pavement, kick it in the back of the head, and we will curb that blurb. So, here we go. An alien couple known as Beldar and Primat with cone-shaped heads from the planet called Dremulac is mistakenly ditched on Earth during a scouting mission for the planet's conquest. While here, they dodge the INS, have a child, and discover that life on Earth is quite good. But unfortunately, they are chased by the government, who know something is not quite right with the Conehead family. After they are rescued and taken back to their planet, Beldar vows to return to Earth and conquer it. This is from Anthony Pereira from IMDb. Do you want his email address? Because he's put it down.
Should we email him and ask him if he was too specific there? Go on, there's some spoilers in there. I hope no one emailed him.
I'll bleep that out. Yeah, but Matt, what do you think of that plot synopsis? Do you want to curb that blurb?
Nah, we'll let this one walk. That was pretty concise.
I thought that was decent. I thought this film was decent, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I like this. I really didn't mind it. I genuinely thought after the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is gonna go one of 2 ways. But no, it's a good little movie. Like we were just talking about this before. If I'd have seen this as a kid, this would be all kinds of nostalgia for an older when you get older. If I watched this when I was 10, this would be amazing. It would be a childhood classic film.
No, if I saw this when I was a kid, I think I'd think exactly the same. It seemed fun and stupid and
it was it was just silly, but also you have you've fucking Dan Ackroyd as your main character, so it's obviously going to be pretty good. Dan Ackroyd's fucking incredible in pretty much everything he's in.
Especially that skull vodka that he does.
Ooh.
He's fantastic with that.
Smooth.
But yeah, so Matt, we'll let that plot synopsis walk, is it?
Yeah, we'll let that one go.
Yeah, I completely agree. Moving on, I've got a couple of reviews here from the and my notes have just completely frozen.
Technical difficulties there.
Completely frozen.
Do you want me to kick us off?
No, I got a couple of reviews to run. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. I got a couple of reviews to run through.
Kerry's just shuffling through one of his 10 devices he's got in front of him currently.
So the first review is from fuck me.
We can right this ship. We're fine. We can weather the storm.
The first review, I don't even know where I'm going to find them. I got them here. So the first review I've got here is from James Berardini. He has given this movie 1.5 stars. He said,
"Wait,
I expect
out of what?
Out of 10.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Even out of 5, that's still.
It could be out of 5.
Fuck him.
And
Fuck this guy. Anyway.
He said, I expected stupid humor. I expected silly humor. I expected bizarre humor. But I didn't expect no humor at all.
Nah, not having it.
I think that's completely unfair. There
That's
were
bollocks,
some...
yeah. Like, he needs to go and watch fucking 2 movies from the last 2 weeks. Like, never. He can fuck off.
James Berardinelli. Yeah.
If that's your real name, fuck you.
No, he was a proper...
Oh, he's a film critic.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck him then. Absolutely not asked.
Just a film snob. But yeah, he needs to go back and watch Going Overboard. And then I've got a couple of reviews from fans online as well. So Loud Buttfart from Letterboxd gave this a 5 stars.
Great name.
And he said, hard to watch a movie when all you can think is God. I want one of those cones up my ass. It's like that Loud Buttfart's that kid from Billy Madison. With the lacrosse team.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it would be basically like getting a parking code stuck up your ass, but you know, each to their own. I'm going to kink shame anybody.
And then this final one is from Viral Sample. He or she give, I'm guessing it's a he, gave this movie 1 star, and he said, Kona hit Connie's cussy, cone pussy.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Is he a crip or something? Can he only speak with C's? What is this?
No, well, the daughter's name was
Connie. Yeah.
So I think Kona is a play on words with Gunner.
Oh, of course, but like...
And rhymes with Kona,
fuck him.
the cone, and then Cussy, as he's abbreviated here, means cone pussy.
I'm not having it.
Pussy, open brackets, cone pussy, close brackets.
Of course it is. Brilliant.
And one final thing before
incredible.
One final thing before we get into the movie is the IMDb rating. Matt, how do you think this movie did on IMDb?
I don't know. This could be alright. I would say it probably around a 6.
IMDb, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. That's what we're going with. The Splatometer.
Oh, the
IMDb.
Okay. Like critic score?
Yeah, go with critics first.
Critics first. Still gonna.
As I pull out another device to try and find the answer.
I mean, it's got to be pretty middling, right? This is like, I know critics are usually a bit harsher on these kinds of movies, but it's got to be somewhere between like 40, 50. I'm tempted to even say over 50.
I think the critics score is 35%.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
And then user reviews. What do you think? So yeah, Coneheads is 35% on the tomatometer with 31 reviews.
Fucking hell! You just lose the ability to speak English there.
I'm thinking of bloody Belda and Remulac and...
Oh mate, there's some wild names in this.
And then Matt, we tend to favour this movie, but what do you think the audience score for this movie is?
I'm gonna go with, I know I've said this a few times now, but I'm gonna go with at least over 50, surely.
37%.
Really?
Gave this a good
Jesus
rating.
Christ.
Yeah.
People did not like this.
People really hate this movie.
Why?
No.
I mean, I get it. Like, it's
not at all.
Pretty fucking weird, but like, there's some very, very likable things about this movie, and I think it's right. I'm gonna get some shit for saying it's better than Billy Madison, but it might be better.
What? Do you think
This
it's
might
better
be-
than Billy Madison?
Maybe. Nah, I don't know. You've put me on the spot. I think it might be. We'll go through it. We'll let what everyone else thinks.
Okay. so should we start? Oh my god.
Are you still broken over here? You're just having an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, everything's broken on my end. Completely broken.
Alright, so we'll start with that.
Okay.
Opening to the movie. This starts with the spaceship that Dan Ackroyd and Piriat is her name. The main
Primat, maybe.
Primat.
But
It's.
yeah.
I was watching this with subtitles and it still didn't make
Let's
sense.
go with that.
Beldar and Primat.
Yeah.
So Beldar, yeah. If you can't tell, they're obviously both gender-neutral names, clearly. But no, Beldar.
I think they're made up. I think they're made up names, man.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't every name made up?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, so we get the first shot of these guys. They've entered American airspace, obviously, because, anytime you've got aliens, they're always in America. And the US Air Force has tracked them on their radar, and they've hunted them down, and they've shot at them. So these missiles have hit the ship, and they crash-landed just off the island of Manhattan. And then we get the opening scene of seeing the actual aliens for the first time fully, and you just get their little cone heads bobbing out of the water. And then we go from there.
Yep. And then straight from here, the Coneheads decide to take some refuge up in a motel. And the night manager in the motel is one of many cameo parts in this movie. And the motel manager is played by Michael Richards from Seinfeld. And he has no idea how this motel runs, what the local area is like. And he's just telling the Coneheads, yeah, just pay for your room and speak to the guy in the morning, and he'll tell you everything you need to know.
I love how much he just deflects that. He's like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with you two fucking weirdos.
Nope. You want nothing to do with them. And then he's like, yeah, how are you going to pay for your room? And then Primat just comes in with a bunch of quarters she's just nicked from the vending machine outside.
Yeah, she just kind of like zaps it with her cone.
All the quarters come out.
And that never comes back in the movie again.
No. And then she just pays for the motel with all the quarters she's stolen. Talk about Michael Richards. I'm going off on a tangent again here. Sorry.
We're alright.
Have you seen that episode of Nathan For You with Michael Richards? Well, not Michael Richards. Have you ever seen Nathan For You?
No.
Oh, okay.
What is
so
that? I've never even heard of this.
Oh, it's the funniest series in the world. This guy, he basically, it's on Comedy Central. He's a business major from Canada, and he goes to different businesses and just gives them crazy ideas on how to make extra money. So he goes to like pizzerias, and he's like, their sales are down, and he's like, right, what we're going to do is we're going to offer a free pizza if you can't deliver the pizza in 8 minutes. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he's like, the catch is the free pizza is only an inch big, so they have to pay for the big pizza and then give the inch pizza to customers. And customers are like, oh my god, 2 pizzas if it doesn't come in 8 minutes. But the joke is that the second pizza is absolutely tiny. But yeah, moving on. There's an episode with there's an episode where this restaurant, their numbers are down as well, and they want to make something big happen in the news. So this guy Nathan, he hires a Michael Richards impersonator to go in as Kramer from Seinfeld. Well, as Michael Richards, but he does this whole Kramer thing, and he leaves the tip for $10,000 to one of the waitresses, but it's all completely set up, all completely fake. And then this waitress puts it on Twitter, say, oh my god, Michael Richards just came in, give me this tip, and then the news pick it up, and then it blows up, and then all these news stations are interviewing her, and then all these articles are being written about how generous Michael Richards is, and they're trying to save Michael Richards' name because he's a bad guy, he's a racist, but the news just pick it up and it just blows up and it goes viral, but it was all just completely fake.
So did you not get the money?
No, she didn't get any of the money. But she was in on it. The restaurant were in on it just to build up this buzz for the restaurant.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
What about the waitress? Did the waitress know?
Yeah, the waitress knew.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Because they knew it was a fake. It was a fake Michael Richards.
That's fucking hilarious. Get trapped in your line.
The amount of different. The amount of different characters that they interviewed for that segment, but ended up on Michael Richards. Anybody out there, you need to watch Nathan For You. It's possibly the funniest show I've ever seen. But yeah, Michael Richards is in this movie as a motel manager.
We're back.
And then in the room, they're just getting yeah. In the room, they're just getting used to planet Earth, and Dan Ackroyd sees some toilet paper.
And just
next to the toilet.
This is the strangest scene in this movie. So he goes to eat the toilet paper, but instead of like eating it, I don't know, like getting one thing, he just like inhales it, and it just unravels sheet by sheet, and it's just so fucking weird to watch.
It's like a high-powered vacuum, isn't it?
It's like, have you ever seen someone shoot someone with a toilet paper gun, where it's like a toilet roll and they shoot it and it just shoots out and it covers them? It's like that, but in reverse.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's that in reverse. And then, they've broken everything down in the motel room to try and fix their ship. Like, they've taken the TV apart and whatever. And then, they both realise that they're stuck on Earth for a while and they need to blend in with the humans, who they call the blunt skulls. So Coneheads are the people with silly cone heads, and blunt skulls are us, because our skulls are blunt apparently. And then after this they're just watching some bowling on TV, and then they freak out because the pins look like the Coneheads, I think.
Yeah, I didn't really get that, but I was like, okay, I guess they're cone shaped.
I think that's the joke.
Okay.
But I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I was like, it's a bowling pin, right? It's not exactly. Fuck it. It was what it was.
So Belda and Primat, they decide that they need to blend in on Earth for a while and just stay here and wait to be rescued by the Remnants. So I'm guessing we skip forward a couple of weeks, couple of days, couple of months, whatever, because we find out that Belda, Dan Ackroyd's character, now has a job in a electronic repair place.
Yeah, he's working for Sinbad.
Yeah, he's working for Sinbad,
who's another Sinbad. Great cameo in this.
Sinbad from that Genie movie, Kazam.
I honestly couldn't tell you why Sinbad's famous. I just know his name.
He's in Jingle All the Way. I know that much.
No idea.
But not just Sinbad. Eddie Griffin is here as well. From he's in Deuce Bigalow. He's the pimp.
Yeah.
And he says like one line. So yeah, Belda's got a job with Sinbad, and then Sinbad's like, "Oh, Belda, just go for some lunch." So Belda goes back to his trailer, which is outside, and he has pizza with some pencil shavings on him, and then he uses Windex to cure his mouth because he's burned the top of his mouth. And then
the hot cheese.
Windex heals burns and COVID, allegedly. Take that with a grain of salt.
Fucking hell. That's a throwback.
Then he smokes like 15 cigarettes at once.
Yeah, I was going to say, he goes to smoke a cigarette, and just the entire packet is just glued together, and he's just smoking 20 cigarettes. That was actually really funny. I liked that. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And then Marlax, played by Phil Hartman, just basically FaceTimes him.
Yeah, with some like weird, I don't know,
So
they built
Beldar
some weird like FaceTime machine.
Yeah. So Beldar tells Phil Hartman's character that the ship is broken down and they need saving from Earth, and then Marlax tells Beldar that it's going to take 7 Zeralas for them to be saved. No idea how long a Zerala is, because they didn't.
You didn't find out. That was just
they didn't convert it at all. And then Primat announces to Beldar that she's pregnant with child.
She's got a little cone baby on the way.
Yeah, little cone baby.
Little cone baby.
And then back at work, Sinbad tries to play Beldar for his work and then asks him for his social security number. But obviously, because he's an alien from outer space, he hasn't got a social security number.
He is quite literally an illegal alien. Ha!
Yeah. That's the joke of the whole movie.
Literally.
And then Sinbad is like, don't worry, I know a guy.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
This scene is the entire reason we watched this hour-and-a-half long movie, to do this hour-and-a-half long podcast.
Against what it might sound like, we didn't actually start a Dan Ackroyd podcast because of last week. This is one of the smallest cameos in the movie, and it's the only reason we watched it. It's a great cameo, good scene.
It is great, but on the Wikipedia plot, this cameo is reduced to 4 words.
Oh, really? I mean, it's in fairness, it's a pretty crucial point of the movie for plot.
So Sandler in this movie plays Carmine Wiener, and he's just I'm guessing he's involved with the mob.
Yeah, it's just an ambiguous mobster guy who just sorts him out with his fake identity and his passport and his socials. And
so Sandler specializes in fake identity, and then there's a whole scene where Sandler is telling Beldar about his new name, which is Donald R. DeSisco, and then they just go back and forth, and Sandler's like, what's your name? And Beldar's like, Donald R. DeSisco. I'm like, say it again. He's like, Donald R. DeSisco, where are you from? And then Sandler's just drilling all this information into Beldar about his name, his wife's name, where they met, where they were born, and things like that. And then Sandler just gives them a file full of the necessary information, passports, social security numbers. And Beldar and his wife are now US citizens.
Hey,
and that's the
good old US of A. That's literally it's the only reason we watched this movie. And thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you next week.
30 minutes. Shortest podcast.
Nice.
Let's go.
So yeah, is there
anything you want to add about Adam Sandler's character here, or?
No, just a good scene. Like, even if you just watch this scene by itself, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's true. Adam Sandler's got a good accent in this. He's putting on a little bit of a New York.
Yeah, he's got his.
He's up to.
He is from New York, but
yeah, no, he's upped it a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he's definitely gone like stereotypical, like I'm walking here, like just classic New York.
Yeah, that's the whole scene with Sandler, and then in the car, Sinbad is just giving Beldar some life advice about becoming an American, and he says, you need to get a hat, you need to fix those teeth, you need to be your own boss, and most importantly, you need to take cash only.
The rules to live by.
Yep. And then Sinbad then asks Beldar for some chewing gum, because Beldar's chewing gum, and Beldar just pulls out a condom.
Just pulls a Johnny out.
Yeah. And then Simba's like, actually, I'd rather not. I better not chew and drive.
But they do some weird shit in this movie, yeah.
And then we cut to a scene in the INS, and the name Donald R. DeSisco has been brought up on their database because
so they've clearly seen this before, like quite a few times for this guy who's supposedly dead.
Yeah, every time this name gets used somewhere, it pops up on their database, and then they go after the person because this Donald R. DeSisco is actually deceased. And now we are introduced to INS agent Eli Turnbull, played by David Spade.
He's good in this.
Yeah, I like
this
David
little
Spade.
weaselly assistant.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad guy.
No, he's
boss
just
is a bad guy.
Yeah,
and
he just
some stuff are rubbing off on David. So yeah, the INS.
he has some good one-liners and stuff. Like so
he is good in this. The INS basically ICE of today, and they're just trying to deport illegal immigrants from the US. So David Spade is introduced as this secretary, I guess, and there's two Spanish people speaking to him, and David Spade goes to he goes to these I'm guessing they're Mexicans, and he just goes, "I'm really bad with English. All I'm getting is clicking noises."
So bad.
And then then David Spade takes the document with DeSisco's name on it into the commissioner's office.
He's the what is it? Assistant Deputy Commissioner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Assistant Deputy Commissioner Gorman Sneeden, played by Michael McKean's office, and we're introduced to this character, and he's talking about a new system that he wants to introduce, where you put shock collars on people you deport, and then put a big electrical wire all along the border, and then if they try to cross the border again, they just get an electric shock.
It's funny, but like someone in real life has probably definitely had that idea before. Or someone's probably tried to use that from this movie.
It would not surprise me if Trump watched this movie and said, "Oh, I've got an idea. I saw it in Coneheads." I guarantee that was the conversation he had when he was president. 100%.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And then Spade and McKean have a conversation about how seriously McKean takes his job, but McKean says that he has to give 100% to stop the country from getting overcrowded.
Fuck, he's just such a little slimy bastard in this, eh?
Yeah, he's dreadful. And then we find out that Belda's social security number comes from a deceased man, and every time that it gets used, the INS flag it, and it's been flagged on a number of occasions, and then we find out that it's been connected to Belda working in the auto repair shop. And then McKean loves going after this DeSisco character, and then he just lists off all the nationalities that have been using this fake name and all the nationalities that he's got kicked out of the country.
Yeah. Fucking jeez.
After the scene in the INS, we now cut to Belda, who is in the dentist to get his teeth fixed because Xander, because Sinbad told him earlier on that Belda needs to get new teeth. The dentist here is played by John Lovitz, who
that was a bit of John Lovitz.
Who's going to pop up in a lot of these movies over the coming weeks, and then he's like, Mr. Belda, Mr. DeSisco, open your mouth, and then Belda opens his mouth and he's got like 3 lines of pointy teeth.
He's just got 3 rows of teeth. It's like a fucking shark.
So Lovis kind of freaks out. He's freaked out a bit by the teeth. And then
takes it in stride though, doesn't stop, just carries on with it.
Nope.
Powers
and then
through.
it's like, Mr. DeSisco, can you open your mouth? And then it just opens up to the size of a basketball, pretty much.
Yeah, it's absolutely just this gaping hole in his face.
And then I think this is the funniest part of the whole movie, when John Lovis tries to put the nitrous oxide over Belda's nose and mouth, but because his mouth is so big, he just kind of sticks it in.
He puts the entire like nose face mask into his mouth.
And then, yeah, Belda gets knocked out, and then we're just back in Belda's caravan at night, and the whole thing is covered by surrounded by ISN agents. And Belda and Primat escape by breaking through the wall, and then they're on the run.
Yeah, just for some context here, these aliens are like super strong, super smart.
Yeah.
But like fairly docile.
Yeah, pretty much. Then after they escape, Spade and McKeans are looking for documentation throughout the caravan to see where they're from, and then they find some clothes and like a disc with weird writing on.
Yeah, basically just like his symbol, I guess.
Yeah, and then McKean is like, those are some strange symbols. I think they might be Korean.
Definitely Korean. David Spade. For fuck's sake.
And then, yeah, so after they escape, we skip forward a couple of months again, and now Belda is a taxi driver.
Yeah. Very.
He's a taxi driver in New York City, and the passenger in this movie is Drew Carey from the Drew Carey Show and other stuff.
Okay, that's Drew Carey. I did not recognise him when I was watching this.
This is his film debut, and he's just a passenger.
You've also, I think you've skipped over the most important part of the scene, is that he's now tried to cover his cone in like the world's largest turban, like just to try and fit more of a stereotype. And he's still got the top of his little cone poking out the top as well.
I've got this written. Belda's now working as a taxi driver, and he's wearing a turban. But yeah, Belda's taxi driver is wearing a turban, and he drops Drew Carey off to the airport or something, and then we go to Belda and Primat's new home. Primat is still pregnant, and they agree that this place isn't good enough to raise a family.
Yeah, they're just in the basement of someone's house, like.
Yeah.
Just to start.
So they want to move out, and they decide to find a better place to live, pretty much. And we're introduced to Belda's boss and landlord as well. He just comes knocking on the door. This guy's the only guy on Wikipedia that's not listed in the cast. I couldn't find him at all.
Oh.
Even though everybody else is.
I was gonna say, this has got like an actual huge cast.
Yeah. And then Primat's birth spasm begins and her water breaks. So they rush her to the hospital. She's giving birth, and as she's giving birth, like the massive earthquakes are happening.
Yeah, she's just a wild birth scene, like the whole hospital shaking.
Yeah,
it seems
shaking.
like.
Sinbad is back taking photos.
As well as his boss.
as well as his landlord. One's on video, one's on photos, and then everybody's freaking out. Well, all the staff are freaking out about how the whole building is shaking, and then Primat gives birth to Connie, and then the doctor's like, Mr. DeCinco, would you like to cut the umbilical cord? And then it's implied that he eats it, I guess.
I think he just chews straight through it, yeah.
Yep. And then a nurse faints. So yeah.
Brilliant. Then there's the. Is this where the montage is?
No, we're back at the INS first.
Oh, okay.
McKean is trying to build a profile on Beldar, and then Spade comes in and says that the symbols that they found have no new origin. And then Spade's like, oh, maybe they're from another planet. And then he says, shouldn't this be the Air Force's responsibility because they came in from space? And then McKean's like, no, they've tried working in my country. This is my responsibility now.
This was the Air Force's responsibility until they tried to get a job.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So it's up to McKean to catch these Coneheads. And then the INS are on a stakeout in front of Beldar's house, and David Spade is now wearing a turban as a taxi driver.
Yeah. He's not. Yeah, I don't know why though. He's the only other person in this movie wearing, or like only other person in this scene, out of the thousands of cops that are there.
And then a taxi pulls up. The ISN assume that it's Beldar, so they're surrounded with officers.
Before we get comments, Kerry, I think you're saying INS wrong.
Oh, ISN. What am I saying?
You're saying ISN. It's INS.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've written ISN. What's ISN?
Fuck him. What? Who God knows. Anyway.
So the ISN.
Don't blame Kerry. He's Welsh. It's fine.
Is private investigators in Milan. Oh.
Ooh.
So it could be the same. So what is it? INS.
Yeah.
Oh. So I've written INS, and I've written ISN.
Fuck
so
it.
I might have said I might have said ISN once.
No, you've said it a few times.
Oh, okay.
I picked up on it before, but I was just going to let it go. I thought it was a one-off.
I've written INS and ISN in the same sentence.
Brilliant. Fuck it, whichever comes out naturally, that's what we're going with. It doesn't exist anymore anyway, fuck 'em.
Yeah. The INS then finds a weird looking keychain and asks Beldar's boss where it's from. He says it's from one of the finest people he's ever met. And
how he's described by everyone in this movie as well. Yeah. Everybody absolutely loves him.
And then he's like, oh yeah, they moved a couple of weeks ago. And then McKean just gets a random phone call and says that there's a potential for a promotion. And now he's like, oh, I have no interest in this case anymore. It's not my problem.
He's like, I'm getting promoted and I don't give a fuck anymore. Which is
basically
poignant. That rings true for a lot of things.
And now we get the classic moving in, baby growing up.
Oh, you know, it's a 90s movie. It has to have a montage in it.
Yeah. And the song playing is Kodachrome by Paul Simon. I think this was a nice song.
A good choice.
I enjoyed this.
Good choice for a little family montage.
And now, yes, so the montage happens and Connie's now fully grown. And the family are having breakfast. Beldar eats like 26 waffles at once.
Just absolutely inhales these waffles.
And then, classic dad from the 90s, Beldar goes off at Connie, who's wearing too much makeup. She's got a tattoo in the back of her head.
Yeah, she's got like a little fake tattoo on the cone.
Yeah, and he's not happy with the clothes that she's wearing, and he's just freaking out. And then we're introduced to Beldar's neighbours, Larry and Lisa, and Larry is played by John Alexander again from Seinfeld. And I was looking at him. I was like, I know this man is
so young in this though. Yeah, like he looks, because this is while they're filming Seinfeld as well. So there's like, he looks wildly different.
Completely different. I was like, I know this man is supposed to be bald. He has to be wearing a wig.
Has to be wearing a wig in this.
And then I was like, why would they put a wig on this when he's known as being a bald man? Oh, maybe he just hasn't lost his hair yet. But then later on in the movie, there's a whole scene about John Alexander wearing a wig.
Yeah.
So I think he's wearing a wig.
I say George Costanza looks so different than
completely different.
This character, like, it's wild. Because I was looking, thinking he's definitely this person, but it looks like it should have been him from 15 years before.
Oh yeah, 100%. They do look like 20 years apart. And then Beldar just fixes Larry's lawnmower by chewing on a screw. And then they're like, oh yeah, we'll come over for food, whatever. And then Beldar picks up his friends from Connie's house to take them shopping as Beldar's car's getting fixed. And then they go shopping, and then back at the mechanics, Beldar goes up to the mechanic Ronnie, and he's played by Chris Farley, who pops up again, and he just says the car's not ready, and then Beldar doesn't understand why the car isn't ready because they had this agreed upon time. And then Beldar just goes, not only have you delayed my leaving here, but all the events that were to follow. What reasons could you have for such deception? And then Connie asks, Beldar storms off, and Connie asks Farley, why is it taking so long, even though they have all the things there to fix the car super quick. And he was like, I was outside having a beer, I'm sorry.
Maybe I was outside scolding a beer, fuck you.
And then, I guess Sparks show here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where this comes from. Are they in like a relationship before this, or like is this?
Is this? I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Because it kind of seems like they know each other, but they might not.
I honestly have no idea.
Fuck it.
Yeah, but they end up together, I guess. And then McKean and Spade are now in an interview regarding the commissioner job. So he's been promoted from assistant deputy commissioner to deputy commissioner. Yeah,
and now he's up for commissioner. Is that what this is?
Then,
yeah.
I think he's getting promoted to... Oh, I don't know.
I think this is him getting another promotion.
From deputy commissioner.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So yeah, anyway, he's getting a promotion, and the guy doing the interviewing is played by Kevin Nielsen, who again just pops up in a lot of these movies. He's
in loads of stuff. I was trying to picture it, like, what can I think of him from? But he's just in so much stuff.
He's in everything. He's in so much. All of these people are.
Have you seen Weeds?
No, I haven't seen Weeds.
I don't know, it's alright. He's one of the main characters in that, though.
Oh,
and
is he?
Yeah, like, he's in a big part of that.
I never thought he showed up as a main character anywhere. I always just assumed that he...
Kevin Nealon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a decently big part of Weeds. Nealon.
I've got Nielsen here.
Oh, were we talking about two different people? Hope not. It's a case of mistaken identity again, is it?
Oh well, don't worry, it's ISNINS, Adam Sandler, Saddam. It's not like anybody's taking this podcast as gospel.
Fuck, I hope not.
But yeah.
No, it definitely is him. But Kevin Nealon.
What's his name?
Kevin Nealon.
Nealon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he's in Weeds, and he's in quite a lot of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, Nealon's question about this DeSisco case, and he's asking like, why has $250,000 been spent on a case chasing aliens from space? So McKean's like, okay, we need to open this case back up to prove that the spending was needed and that there are actual aliens on Earth. So he decides to go after the Coneheads again. And now we cut back to Connie and Ronnie. So Connie and Chris Farley, they're on a date, and they're asking each other where their families are from, and Farley's like, my family's from the old country, blah blah blah. And then Connie just completely devours a foot-long sub.
This was probably my favourite line in the whole movie. Chris Farley. So they're at Subway. It's like aggressively 90s Subway. And she just gets the sandwich and just puts the whole thing, just gets the whole sandwich and just eats all of it in like one mouthful. And Chris Farley's jaw just drops and just says, "My mum's the only woman I know that can take a sandwich like that."
Yep.
What?
That's one of the only other quotes I have written down as well.
And then she proceeds to just absolutely inhale the other one as well.
Yeah. She's like, are you going to eat that? And then we just cut to a supermarket, and Lisa, who's the neighbour, and Primark are now out shopping, and Lisa's convinced that Belda is having an affair with this woman that he's taking on driving lessons all the time.
Yeah, so it's the same lady who's trying to do the driving test like 5 times.
Yeah. And then we're on the driving test with Belda and Gladys, who's played by Jan Hooks.
There's in the supermarket. There's a scene where she just gets fucking terrified of an eggplant. It's so weird. Just watching it, and she rolls up to the eggplants and just screams her tits off, and then like picks one up and then carries it like a baby and just leaves. It's so weird.
I forgot about that.
It's just so random, but it's fucking hilarious.
And then they were.
So yeah, then we're on the
driving test with Gladys. Gladys is like the whitest name, like the whitest old woman name ever. She's like the whitest woman ever. Have a guess who she played on The Simpsons, Matt?
Oh God. I have no idea.
This woman, this very white woman, she was the voice of Manjula.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Of course she was.
She was Apu's wife on The Simpsons.
Of course she was.
And she's just failing a driving test on purpose, so she can have more lessons with Belda. And then after she's failed the test, like, oh, we need to do that again. And then she just kisses Belda straight on the mouth.
Just full sexually assaults him.
Yeah, and then Belda's like, nothing can happen because I'm your teacher, but he likes her, so she will come to no harm when the Coneheads take over Earth, and she's put on the no shoot list or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the no harm list.
The no harm list. And yeah. And then after the date, Farley drops Connie off at the house, and he tries to kiss Connie, but she has no interest. And then Farley asks what's wrong, and Connie's worried that she doesn't know how to be affectionate. Is this what Red Hot Chili Peppers is playing? What song's playing in the car?
I have no idea. What chili songs in this?
There's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
There is some good music in this movie, actually. Oh, Soul to Squeeze. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that song was only released on this soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Are you sure?
That's what I read somewhere.
Fuck, fair enough. I don't know, I thought I'd seen it on an album somewhere, but alright.
Oh, it might be. I might be completely wrong there. And then, yeah, they're kissing, and then Farley doesn't know when to stop, and then
Connie takes it a bit too far.
And then she storms off. And then Connie comes into the house and tells her parents what Ronnie was like, and then Belda goes outside to confront him, and he just rips the roof off his car.
He just rips the corner of his roof off and speaks to him through the roof.
Yeah, and then he just threatens Ronnie, pretty much. And then back at the house, Connie's annoyed at Belda for getting involved, and says she doesn't care about their home planet, and the ship will never come to save them. And then Primat goes to confront Connie as she's crying in her bedroom, and she talks about how Primat was heartbroken in a relationship before Belda, and how it helps you grow as a person, whatever, and it leads you to where you should be. And then they just bump cones.
Yeah, they do this little cone bump with the top of the cones, and there's a little kind of an electric spark. It's weird.
And then Belda's on the golf course with Larry now, and he's talking about getting Beldar a wig like he has. So
yeah,
I was right.
What is it? He says like, you should consider getting a wig, and he's pointing to his own hair. It's like, oh, this isn't all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the golf course, Ronnie shows up and apologizes to Beldar what he did to Connie, and then Tom Arnold is here, and he just asks Beldar, "What's up with your head?"
Yeah, he's like the only normal person in this. He's the only person in this that's like, hey, your head is really fucking weird.
And then Tom Arnold is he's super famous comedian and actor as well. He's been in loads.
Oh, he's in so much shit.
So much crap. He's in Dickie Roberts, from former child star, as himself. He's been in Simpsons as himself. Baywatch Hawaii. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here in 2017. So,
well, you can't argue with that.
So yeah, Tom Arnold's there, and he's just like, "What's up with your head, man?" And then we just cut to a diving competition, and Ellen is Connie's coach.
Yeah, I had a real hard time figuring this out. Like, if I didn't know the name of a character as coach, you would not know.
No, I didn't know until afterwards, because I googled Ellen Coneheads, and then it was like, oh yeah, she's the coach.
Yeah, I went back to watch it.
You'd have no idea.
And I literally went back to watch the scene and still was like, that could be anyone. That could be any blonde lady.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Ronnie's here watching, and he tries to apologise to Connie, and then Julia Sweeney, I know her from Stuart Little. She's the principal.
Julia Sweeney?
Yeah.
What the fuck is she in?
I know her from Stuart Little. I think she's like works in the bank in Stuart Little, because I recognised her face straight away and was like, who is this woman? And anyway, she's the principal, and she's asking Beldar and Prima why they aren't involved in any of the committees, and then they accidentally volunteered to be on the homecoming committee. And then and then we cut to homecoming, and Ronnie's still apologising to Connie, and then they eventually make up. And then Beldar's in charge of the fireworks display, and he sets off a rocket.
Just this little tiny little pocket rocket.
And it goes up, does a tiny little bang, and everyone's like, boo, 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 boo. And then
he pulls out pulls out these massive blackout shades and just sits there, just waits for it. And it's like the greatest firework ever. It like knocks people out of their seats.
Yeah. And then we just cut to Beldar and Prima in bed, and Prima is worrying that Beldar isn't in love with her anymore. And Beldar says he loves her and will never move on if Prima passes.
Oh yeah, she's reading Cosmo, and she's like, "Oh, what would you do if I died?" Yeah, classic.
And then he's like, "Oh, I would shrivel up into a ball, and the smell would be awful, and I would just rot."
And she seems happy with that.
And then we just pan out from them sleeping in bed. The camera just zooms out from their face, and then we find out that they sleep standing up.
Yeah, they sleep standing up, just like cut into the mattress.
Yeah, bed up against the wall.
But their room's laid out so that everything would look normal lying down, yeah.
And then now we just cut to McKean. He's on a boat shouting at some people who are trying to get into the States illegally, and he's like, "There's no work for you here. You have no skills. You'll be a drag on our economy."
Yeah, I felt like this was a bit unnecessary. He's just shouting at a boat full of refugees. I was like, fucking hell.
And then he gets another phone call from Spade, and Spade says, "We have an idea where the Coneheads are."
And then what they're... I've got next note is they're in the bar.
Oh, no, I've got... Primat runs into the principal at the supermarket. And then the principal's like, "Yeah, we don't need Beldar on any of the committees anymore." I'm guessing because he went too far with Homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
And then Primat runs into Gladys, and they just share some weird looks.
Yeah, they just kind of avoid each other on the same aisle.
Yeah, and now they're in the bar, and
he's just got a massive stein, which I rated. He's just got this 2-litre jug of beer. Nice.
And then they're talking about a golf trophy, and Larry's like, Belda, you're going to win that one day. And then Belda just imagines the head on the golfer turned into a cone head. And now they're in the locker room showers, and Belda goes into the shower, and he has no butt crack.
Yeah, he's got no butt crack and 2, like, weird nubs above each cheek.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And then after this, Belda arrives home, and there's romantic music playing, rose petals, whatever, candles, and then all this leads to Primat dressed up all sexy, and she
just walks in, and there is 10,000 candles in the house.
Oh, there's so many candles. And then, Belda and Primat make love, and then David Spade is outside, and he's just listening into the whole conversation and listens to them.
Just the weird alien noises.
Something's like, what is that? It's like, I think they stood on a cat or something. But yeah, these weird... Yeah, David Spade is just listening to Belda and Primat making love. And then McKean and Spade then confront Belda as Jehovah's Witnesses. And they invite themselves into Belda's house. And then they talk about the world ending, and Spade and McKean are using testimonials from the Bible, and Belda is saying how the Bible is ridiculously optimistic about how the world is going to end.
Yeah. He thinks that obviously his home race are just going to come and take over the planet and kill everybody or enslave them all.
This is actually a callback to earlier on in the movie when they're in the motel. Primat is on the bed reading a book and she's laughing, and the book that she's reading is the Bible that you find.
Oh yeah, it's just in
the drawer.
Yeah,
and apparently she's laughing because she's reading the part of the Bible that talks about the world ending, and she's just laughing because about how ridiculous that it is written down, because she thinks it's going to happen in a completely different way to what the Bible's saying, and the same is happening here. And then
classic.
And then they just get another FaceTime call from the phone in the other room, and then Belda freaks out, so he kicks out McKean and Spade. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get a phone call, and then he just kicks McKean and Spade out of the house.
Oh yeah, no, he gets a phone call from his home planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just throws them straight out.
And then we just cut to Connie and Ronnie and out at a Halloween party. Belda's there as well. Oh, everyone's there. So he kicks Spade and McKean out of the house, and then we cut to a Halloween party. Connie's there, Ronnie's there, Belda's there, McKean is there, and Spade is there apparently.
Yeah, what it's the
it's the Halloween party.
Is it? Yeah, but is it like the school one or something?
I think it's the golf course one, because he wins the trophy, doesn't he?
The golf course one.
And now we find out what the phone call was about, and Belda's telling Connie that the rescue vessel is on the way, and they're leaving tonight. Connie says that she needs to tell Ronnie, but Connie thinks she wants to stay because she loves Ronnie. And then Belda tells Larry he is going back to France so he can become a driver for the President of France, or the President of France. And he's like, if the President of France calls you to be a driver, I guess you got to go straight away.
Can't argue with that.
And then Belda wins the golf trophy from earlier. And then we just cut to Connie and Ronnie being at home alone, and Connie's telling Ronnie how she's different from other girls. Then Belda and Primat race home to find Connie and Ronnie using sensor rings, which I guess is them making love.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but they were very sweaty when they walked in.
Yeah. And then the INS once again surround the house and announce that the Coneheads are under arrest. The Coneheads decide to make a break for it on the motorbike, but the bike crashes. But it turns out that it was Ronnie all along.
Good old Chris Farley to the rescue.
Yep. Then the actual family try to race off in the car, but they're still blocked by the INS. And as McKean is walking towards the car to arrest the family, they are saved by this spaceship.
Yeah, the spaceship finally arrives, and just a giant magnet comes and picks the car up.
Pretty much. Then
what? The two INS agents jump onto the car.
Yeah, as the car's being lifted, McKean jumps on the car, and then Spade jumps on McKean because he doesn't want to leave him behind. And then they're all taken on board the ship on the way to Remulon. On the way to the planet, they go into deep sleep, whatever. And then on Remulon, Beldar is brought in front of the High Master, which is played by Dan Ackroyd's brother in this movie.
Yeah, I was looking at that. He's not in anything else, is he?
I don't think he's in much.
I'd be surprised.
And then Beldar gives McKean and Spade his gifts to the High Master. McKean is still complaining about immigration. And the High Master is unimpressed by Beldar changing his teeth, and then he's sentenced to death by Garthok. He also gives the High Master a Johnny as a present as well.
Yeah, gives him some good old chewing gum.
Yeah, chewing gum and like the manual to his car or whatever, and some just for, like,
just tries to give him any gifts that he can find.
Yep. And then the Garthok is easily killing everybody else off. The first guy was I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's played by he was the principal in the Goldbergs. He's the principal in Mean Girls. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. I was looking at him here.
What's his name?
Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows, yeah. And then Tim Meadows dies straight away, and then everybody's dying, and then Beldar goes up to fight this
basically just the most discount Rancor you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It literally is like fighting the Rancor in Return of the Jedi, but like it's about 10 feet.
This planet didn't look too bad.
Nah, it was just really fucking weird. Like they were in the High Master's chamber, and there's just the like those like the dancers that dance on like the curtains and like roll themselves up and down and just like all around, and they were just going off, and there was just some really weird shit happening. But no, yeah, it's like they're fighting this. Well, Beldar's fighting this Garthok, which is it's like a 10-foot tall Rancor instead of it being like fucking 50 feet. Like it's just this little green thing. Not little, but it's the easily disposed.
Yeah, it is easily. Yeah, I was going to say the way that Beldar defeats the Garthok is he first sings "Tainted Love."
Yeah. I don't know why he sings "Tainted Love." Where does
it's the song that the girls were listening to.
It's in the car, but I don't understand why it's making a comeback now.
And then he just uses his golf skills to kill it.
Yeah, he just rams this stone straight in through the back of its throat.
Yeah.
And then like grabs it by the nose ring and just absolutely fucking smashes his face into the ground, and that's about it.
And now the Garthok is dead, Beldar's offered a request, and he's like, I want to go back to Earth to conquer it. And the High Master's like, yeah, go for it. And then he takes back McKean's character with him, and David Spade is left on Remulon, and he just becomes the right-hand man to the Grandmaster like he was to McKean's character.
Yeah.
Like straight away.
Just finagles himself into this incredible position, and then like he's great at what he does.
Yeah. So, and then Beldar, Primarch Connie, and McKean's character go back to Earth, and Beldar is announcing how he will destroy Earth over the radio to the other ships. But then he fakes a warning message, and the entire fleet retreat from Earth and head back to Remulon. Beldar and his family get off the ship, and then they blow the ship up to fake their own deaths.
Yeah.
Take their own death.
That's about it.
Belda and McKean come to an agreement to issue green cards to Belda and his family to allow McKean to stay alive.
What is it he does? He's like, I've just saved your life, I've saved you from like an alien planet, and he's like, alright, give me a green card, and he's like, only if you can prove that you have a skill that no US citizen can already do. Like, what the fuck?
And then, after they get their green cards, Belda and his family settle back into Earth. Ronnie comes to get Connie and takes her to prom, and then Belda's like, Ronnie, I need to have 55 words with you. And then he has exactly 55 words with him.
Yeah.
And then he
was it actually 55 words?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
It is 55 words.
Yeah.
And then he gives Ronnie the keys to his car, and then the final shot of the movie, we got Frankie Valli playing "You're Just Too Good to Be True."
Yeah.
Connie and Ronnie going to prom, and Belda and Primat enjoying the fact that they can create new memories on Earth.
Nice.
The end.
The end.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
No, it was actually like it was pretty good. I won't lie. Like I enjoyed it more than I genuinely thought I was gonna.
I thought I was gonna hate this movie.
I thought this was gonna be like worse than all of them. I thought this was gonna be tragic.
I knew about this movie, but it was one that I always avoided watching when I was younger because I heard that it was not the greatest.
No, yeah, I think you know about the characters, like I think I've just seen them in like random compilations and stuff of just this cone-headed motherfucker. But like, yeah, like I was saying before, if I'd have watched this as a kid, like watching it now would be an absolute treat. Yeah, like this is actually pretty good.
Right, so let's move on to our scores then, Matt.
Yep.
What would you give this out of? What do we do? 10?
Yeah, 10.
How many sandbags out of 10 would you give this? And what kind of flood could this stop?
I'm gonna give this like a 6.7.
You give
I
Billy
like
Madison.
this. Fuck him. I was harsh on Billy Madison, but that's set in stone now. We can't change it.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I would probably give Billy Madison like the same as this, but no, I'm gonna give it.
You give Billy Madison a 3.5, but yeah, that's stuck in stone. So you give her a 6.7, and that's brought the average score up to 3.10. I give Billy Madison a 4.3, which, looking back now, I think I was tough on it, but I don't think I can rate this better than Billy Madison.
I don't know. I just every time I watch Billy Madison again, it just fucking pisses me off.
But at least I laughed in Billy Madison.
I liked this. This was good. I mean, it wasn't good, but like this was easily watchable. Like it wasn't a chore to sit through this. Like not that Billy Madison is, but
I'm gonna have to give this less than Billy Madison. I'm gonna give this a 4.2.
Fair enough.
So Matt, at the moment your average score is 3.10 and my average score is 2.93.
Ooh, you harsh bastard.
Yeah. Okay, our scores are down. Moving on, Matt. What do you think the budget for this movie was?
Wait, Ceri. We didn't say what it could stop.
Oh yeah, go on. Oh, what kind of flood could?
I don't know why I did that because I've got nothing lined up. But
what kind of flood could your 6.7 sandbag stop?
Fucking the flood of toilet paper from him, like inhaling a whole box of it.
Okay. my 4.2 sandbags could stop the flood in the basement when pretty much water broke.
Oh Jesus, that was so much water. It's like a pipe burst.
But yeah, that's the kind of flood my sandbags could stop. Right, Matt. Budget. box office and budget. What do you think the budget of this movie was?
I'm gonna say more than last week. What was last week? It was like 1.4 or something.
Yeah.
Probably. I would say it's probably more.
Give me a number, Matt.
Fucking hell. It's got to be at least double. I'm gonna say 3 point something. Maybe 4 or 5.
The budget for this movie was $33 million.
Fucking hell, that was way off. That actually does make a lot of sense, though.
And how do you think this did at the box office?
Not well. Considering those Rotten Tomatoes reviews before. And... yeah, I don't know like who this movie is aimed at, in fairness. So I don't know. I don't think this did well.
No, it made a loss.
I was going to say, I don't think it made its money back.
It grossed $21 million at the box office. So, 33 plus yeah, it lost a big chunk of money.
It lost a decent amount of change, though.
Oh. Right, before we end, Matt, do you have any trivia for this movie, or...?
Not really, other than the only thing I could find is when she's doing the diving scene, you can see like a little bit of the cone coming off, but I went back to watch it, and it's literally just like the smallest little crack, and I was like, fuck me, who is fine tooth comb in this movie? Like, come on now, you've got better things to do.
I saw that as well. I didn't go back to watch it, but also that scene as well, she's wearing a swim cap.
Yeah,
swim caps are used for people with hair whilst they're swimming, not for people who are diving.
Or bald with a cone head, which is probably more aerodynamic.
100%. I got a couple of pieces of trivia here. The French government, they were super annoyed that the aliens said that they were French instead from being from space. So the French government put in a formal request for any references about France to be removed from the movie. And
that couldn't have gone well.
No, the studio were like, nah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, get fucked. It's like, yeah, we don't want to say we're aliens, but we're French. Sweet. No questions asked.
Conan O'Brien had a role in this movie, but that scene was cut. David Spade's character, Eli, was originally played by Steve Martin on SNL. And Bill Murray originally played the Ronnie character on SNL as well.
Fuck, that was good.
I think Bill Murray was considered for the role of in this movie. And then he was obviously 40 or 50, so he couldn't be a
I was
teenager.
going to say, he's definitely not. It would have been a bit weird to have him, in this role.
So yeah, that was changed. And then a couple of goofs as well in the movie. This one's a factual goof. Belda and Primmett called the fried eggs fried chicken embryos. However, embryos are clusters of fertilized eggs, and the eggs we eat are not even fertilized. They should be called fried chicken gametes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then another factual error here.
I'm glad somebody picked up on that and took their time
to write that down.
To let everybody else know.
It's crazy. But it needs to be known. And then another goof here. Connie is seen at a swim meet, and the next scene, she's a cheerleader at a football game. High school students are not allowed to compete in 2 sports simultaneously.
Is cheerleading a sport?
Yes,
I guess it's
a sport.
But they're like cheering the sports.
It's 2 different things. Football's going on here, cheerleading's going on here. They're 2 different entities. Cheerleading's a sport.
Is marching band a sport?
No, that's
they do
band.
but they do some crazy shit. You ever seen them like marching bands at like American colleges where they're doing like spelling out all the letters and all that crowd and jazz?
But it's a band. Is a rock band a sport?
I don't know. You tell me. Nah, I'm being harsh on the cheerleaders there. I'm just taking the piss.
I've got to say cheerleading is a sport.
Nah, they do all kinds of mad flips and shit. Of course, it's a sport.
They do. They do, and I respect any cheerleader out there because it's tough. It's tough what they have to do. Is there?
Fucking hell.
Is there anything else that you want to say about this movie?
No.
Same. I think I'm done.
I think we're good with that.
Matt, do you want to let the people know what we're doing next week? Because I'd fuck it up.
Oh Jesus! So yeah, you can't get this right. You've been saying it wrong for a week. Not. Next week we've got the movie Airheads. Not Coneheads.
Sequel to Coneheads?
It is not a sequel to Coneheads. It's an entirely separate movie in and of itself.
Oh, Sandler's been in 2 head movies in a row.
2 head movies simultaneously.
I once saw Kim Kardashian in a head movie.
For fuck's sake. Why? You dickhead. Fucking brilliant.
Oh, okay.
Fucking incredible. And on that note, we're just gonna end it there.
That's it. Done.
Do your socials.
Please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Write a review on Apple. Tell us what you really think, and if it's nice, we'll read it out on the pod. If not, fuck you guys. Follow us on our socials. At the moment, we're just using Instagram, but we're there on Twitter. I don't know. Are we there on TikTok? Yeah, we're trying to work things out.
Mate. I've got
I haven't done anything there. Just follow us on Instagram. I'll probably delete the rest. On Instagram, we're at Sandlerous Pod. Give us a follow, like our posts. That's where you're going to keep up to the most up-to-date stuff. If you want, send us an email at sosandlerouspod@gmail.com, and we'll also read that out on the podcast. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything else we need to say, is there?
No, I think we covered all that. Just same time next week for Airheads.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Airheads next week. Watch the movie or not. We have to. But yeah. Bye.
Give yourself some context. See you later, everybody.